You think you're free because you got a car note, you got a mortgage, you got a job with a title. You ain't free, my brother, my sister. You're not free. You just got upgraded chains, and you see her walking around with them all the time. I took my chains off for this particular video. You got Wi-Fi, not wings. Let's get into something else. I want to talk about them chains, the parable of chains. Them chains around your neck, them chains around your brain. You feel me? That's what we're going through right now. People are locked up mentally because of the social media and things like that. And I just really wanted to exploit that right now. Take a second and bring attention to that, because you don't have to be in jail to be in prison. A lot of people is in prison in their mind right now, and that's really unfortunate. So, I wanted to do this, like, subscribe, and share, and get ready for this new content we bring, because we want to bring value to the channel. Check it out. Everybody, they want to be free. Everybody want to be free, but most folks don't even know what freedom feels like. That's what you have to understand. You could be right out here and be able to go to the store and get you a soda and a bag of chips, but that's not true freedom. You know what I mean? We grew up saying, I got money. I got out the system. You feel me? I made it. You know what I mean? But what happens is when you make it and you realize you're still in somebody's cage, it just got better furniture. You feel me? You still in the cage. It just got bigger and better furniture. See, they took the chains off your wrist, the orange chains off your wrist, and gave you the silver, gold, diamond one. You feel me? Shinier, heavier, smoother to the touch. They look real fancy now, them chains. They look real fancy. And I'm a jeweler, but they look real nice right now. But they still chains. That's what you have to remember. They still change, man. Let me explain something to you, family. I want you to take a real close listen to this. They don't need to beat you with whips no more. They beat you with distractions. You feel me? They don't lock your body up unless you done something. They lock up your attention. You feel me? You locked up in your mind, in your attention. They don't silence you. They don't do that no more. They don't silence you. They just keep you entertained enough. Never ask a question. Why are you so quiet inside? That's deep. I want you to think about that. You quiet. You're not making no noise. All the noise you're making is inside of you through this social media. You think you're free because you got a car note, you got a mortgage, you got a job with a title. You ain't free, my brother, my sister. You're not free. You just got upgraded chains, and you see her walking around with them all the time. I took my chains off for this particular video. You got Wi-Fi, not wings. Comfort, not control. They got you bragging about your cage because it's cleaner than someone else's. You feel me? Think about that. That's the new hustle. Keep you busy chasing more. I got the biggest Lambo. I got the biggest yacht. I got the biggest this, that, and whatever. But you never ask who owns it all, right? Because no matter where you get, it's always somebody that's bigger and better than you. And you must understand that, yeah, we're rats or hamsters on a wheel around here, some of y'all. I've seen people call themselves kings, but they can't move without permission, baby. They can't post without approval. You know what I mean? They can't think without trending topics telling them what to care about. Think about that. You know what I mean? You're only doing it because of the algorithm. I'm going against the algorithm personally. That ain't freedom. That's slavery with filters. They just switched the whip for the Wi-Fi, baby. You understand? That's all they did. The overseer for an algorithm. And you out here scrolling yourself into silence. You feel me? You ain't hearing nothing from you because you so stuck, paralyzed on that phone, on that computer. Let me tell you something. A silver chain hurts worse than an iron one. Those ones they bring us over here in? Those is iron chains. Because at least when it's iron, you a prisoner. You feel me? You locked up when you got them iron ones on. When it's silver, platinum, gold, you call it success. You feel me? You define or defend your cage. You brag about your collar. You even fight your brother just to prove your chain shines brighter. And we see that all the time where these celebrities going against each other grew up in the same household because one gets some money. Now they done switched up. They told you to chase luxury. We all like nice things. Don't get me wrong, but you attract it. You don't chase it. But you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that luxury without liberty, you have to understand that luxury without liberty is slavery in satin sheets. That's too real. They told you to chase chase visibility. You must be seen. You got to be out here. But visibility without power is just exposure. You just been seen, and exposure burns. You know how I feel in those comments. You know how I feel in those comment sections. They told you chase opportunity, but opportunity from your oppressor ain't empowerment. It's endorsement. You an influencer. You don't have no real power. You ain't the one created the products or the platform. You just somebody that is an ambassador. You think you got, you think they care about fear and anger? Nah, they don't. They fear your awareness. That's why you see they cut videos off that's aware, got awareness in them. You think they fear your independence? You think they fear your discipline? Nah, because once a man knows who he is, you can't sell him silver chains anymore. He'll melt them down and build weapons of metal. You feel me? And that's beyond the actual metal, baby. That's talking about bringing knowledge, understanding, and truth across these streams. Because Malcolm X once said, you can't separate peace from freedom. You feel me? Once you get that real freedom, then you got that real peace. And that's the truth, right? You can't reset and rest if you ain't free. You feel me? If you ain't free, ain't no rest out here, baby. What we've done is made peace with our prisons. You know, we decorated our cages. You feel me? Y'all decorated your cages. We turned down captivity and made it a culture. You know, we made captivity a culture. We're out here bragging about what we bought, but never talk about what we built. A lot of us, a lot of y'all. We post the highlights of survival and call it prosperity. Man, we talking about people that got $500-600 million. You posting a car and some shoes. I ain't here to shame you, baby. I'm here to wake you. You understand? I want you to wake up because we're better than this. We're going into a new level of understanding where robots are going to be running things. Because I get it. I understand it. And I want you to understand it. We've been programmed since birth to believe that validation equals value. That approval equals arrival. You got there. Now you validated. But when your work depends on a paycheck, on an applause, on attention, you ain't free. You a performer. Or like a lady once told me, you a poser. And the stage might look good, y'all. This lens right here look good. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all lenses look good. But the curtain will fall one day for a lot of you all. And when it does, what are you gonna look like behind here? When that camera flip around, how does it look where you living? The enemy ain't the system. That's not the enemy. It's the content it gives you, right? They created the system, but it's the content that you're making. That's the enemy. It teaches you to stop fighting, to stop questioning, to stop evolving, right? But have you ever noticed that the system always rewards the obedient? How it really silences thinkers, how it praises the quiet worker, but backlists the bold ones? We talked a lot about a lot of political issues, and they got blackballed. That's because silver chains are better under the spotlight. You can't tell if they gold or platinum or if it's the truth for real. You can't believe nothing for the most part these days. They don't want you free, family. They want you functional. And that's what we see with these dead-end jobs. Enough success feels good. And that's all they want you to do is to feel good, but not enough to become dangerous. See, when you doing things like Elon Musk, you dangerous. They want you consuming, not creating, following, not leading, arguing, not organizing. They want you doing pranks, you know, and these type of things. And the whole time, family, you think you're winning, and it looks like a lot of you are winning. You think you arrived, you think you made it there, but your freedom has a fine print, and you must understand that. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. Let me share this with you, family, and just hold on for a second for this. This is powerful. Real power ain't loud. I say that all the time on this channel. Real power is not loud. It's quiet. It's ownership. You don't hear the owners of these teams going through things with their stuff all in the news. You don't hear that because they're the owners. It's sovereignty. They don't have to wait on no man. They do what they want to do. It's saying, I answer to me. A lot of people think they made it, but they're still answering to other people. I like what Dame Dash be saying about that. You can't buy that. You got to become that, family. That means discipline. That means sacrifice. And I'm not talking about your family and things of that nature. That means building something that doesn't need permission to exist. You got to bring something to this world, to this life, to this table, and they should not be able to take it away from you. You feel me? Understand that, because you're so powerful. So if you ask you, and I ask you, what is your freedom worth, and how much does your peace cost? Because a lot of y'all it's not even working for peace. How much control did you sell just to feel safe in your space with your phone? I know this is deep, but you gotta understand this. If your paycheck owns your soul, you still got chains on, family. And I ain't talking about the ones for fashion. If your validation comes from strangers, you still got chains. If your mind ain't yours, then neither is your future. You must understand that. Keep that in mind, because the future is coming and it's going to be fast and it's going to be quick. We don't need another protest sign. What is that going to do? We need private property. You feel me? Understand that. We don't need another hashtag. We need habits. We don't need another influencer, especially the goofy and silly ones. We need investors. Big difference. Big difference. We need to invest properly. If you're not investing right now, what are you doing? Silver chains or sovereignty, you can wear them both, family. So break them, you know. Silver chains and sovereignty, you can't wear them both. So break them piece by piece, habit by habit, fear by fear. I want you to go ahead and take time and just hear me out real fast. I mean, I'm gonna close this little video up, but I want to tell you this one last thing, because this is very important. Because freedom don't come with comfort. It comes with courage. You got to understand that it comes with courage, not comfort. And if they ever offer you a deal, family, that costs you your voice, your vision, your values, remember this: no matter how bright it shines, a chain is still a chain. The ones back from slavery or the ones right now over rappers' necks, it's still a chain, baby. I'm James Mack. It's the Parable of Chains. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and share, man. If you feeling this type of content, let me know in the comments. Stand tall, stay dangerous, and build something no man can leash. I'm gonna run that back. Build something that no man can leash. Leave something in the comments and tell me you standing on yours.